more than 20 years of experience in audit and taxation. Okay, and then work with BDO Malaysia and KPMG Singapore, two of the big four audit and tax international practice. Right, we are so honored to have Mr. Patrick this afternoon, and I really, really want to say appreciate Mr. Patrick for for joining our several event, not just only in Malaysia but also in Philippines, and also in Myanmar. Really give a big shout out and thank you to Mr. Patrick. Let's all welcome Mr. Patrick this afternoon. So I'll put him online now. All right. So Mr.
Hi.
Patrick, are you ready?
Yes, KT, thank you so much. Once again, we are online again, right? I think
Yep.
today is Saturday. I'm sure most of us are probably relaxing at home.
Yeah.
If not, then probably some of us probably working at office, and hopefully it's actually afternoon time that you may want to go back now and back to your family because of the Hari Raya festive
Yep.
season. So once again, I would like to wish all our Muslim friends, all right, and colleagues a happy Hari Raya festive season. All right, so please be careful when you drive, and of course, I think we still need to keep the social distancing during this festive season. All right. So anyway,
Right.
I think today is a program that we're going to address on HR topic. I think I'm sure that for the past 65 days, I think there's a lot of query that coming in through my handphones and of course through my Facebook as well, asking about how can we manage people, during this COVID MCO period. Now, especially now, everyone is trying to get used, to what we were before, because we have been around in the MCO period for the past 60 odd days, and I think a lot of habits has been changed, and I'm sure that everyone is trying to adjust to the reopening soon. Hopefully by the 9th of June, we can all come back to office and hopefully we can get together again, right? Okay.
Yep.
So I think I would like to quickly share my screen, and then we'll move on to our topic for today. Okay.
Right. Okay, Mr. Patrick, thank you. Again, I will put myself offline at the moment, then I will be back and supporting you, right?
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I think that'd be great.
Okay. Looking forward for your topic this afternoon, right?
Okay, good. Okay, give me a second. I think I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, right. Okay, I think today's line probably very challenging, because I think we have a very heavy rain, heavy shower just now. I'm sure that everyone is trying to, get used to the norm now. Okay, right. So everyone can see my screen at the moment. Okay, let me just quickly, share the screen, which is at this full screen right here. Can you see the screen now, Katie? Can Okay, so I think without further ado, we'll just move on to today's topic. Okay, good. Okay, today we're going to discuss about HR growth. All right, so how are we going to look into the people management at the moment? Because I'm sure, other than cash flow topics that we shared previously, the next important topic is about people. All right, so this people issue, I'm sure that many of us is now trying to adjust, right? Trying to adjust to the new norm, all right? Trying to adjust to the new way of working and communication as well, all right? So I think today I'm going to bring through, all right? We're going to bring through some ideas, some methods for everyone to learn and see how we can actually ignite, the passion in our team, and hopefully to adjust their mindset, all right? Because I think things are so much different now, and we would like to make sure that everyone is actually in line, all right, with this new practice and the new mindset. Okay, so right. So I think today we'll cover two main topics. So basically, we're talking about the new norms of HR strategy, and we're going to talk about the vision, mission, and core value, and why is it important. All right, and we're going to address three pillars of HR strategy to cover for today's program, and to see how we can build a core team of excellence, all right, for SME and even larger corporation that is now facing the same people issue at the moment. All right, so let's look into this growth issues. I'm sure a lot of bosses now, they are trying to groom team, all right, groom their people, trying to adjust to new ways of working and new ways of doing things, including how can we manage our business, how can we manage our operation. So the growth matter, the growth issues, is just like this plant, all right? You may be just new to the market, you may be just new to the industry, but bear in mind, you may have lots of experience with you, lots of background, all right? Lots of network, your connectivity is very wide, All right. But however, everyone from now on, I think we are trying to get used to the new, pandemic, this new norm, and we are trying to see how we can adjust our people in terms of their mindset. So you can see from these slides, you can see that we have this Twitter. Actually, basically, I think even Facebook. I think this morning they were.
Mr. Patrick, sorry
Yes.
to disrupt you. Your
Yes.
slide is not shown here actually. So
Oh, so
perhaps
let me just stop again. I try. Oh, okay. I think thanks for saying. Thanks for what do you call that? Thanks for highlighting this. Okay, one more time.
Yep, no problem.
Okay. Right. I think the slide. Let me see. Can you see the slide here? Interesting. I was talking about for 10 minutes. I think. Oh, interesting. Okay, my entire screen. Okay, can you see my screen now? Can you see the slide?
All right, there you go. Yeah, good to go.
Good.
Yep, you're good to go. Right.
All right, good. Thank you, Katie. That's why you see, sometimes when we do Zoom, it's like we're talking to the screen ourselves. Okay, right. Let me just quickly go through again, very fast. All right, so we're talking about HR growth. Okay, we're talking about HR matters today. All right, so this is the very issues that we are now trying to address. Okay, so this is the first slide that I showed just now. Let me just quickly go through again. Then the next slide is actually with our topic. Okay, topic for the day, which is the new norm, the HR strategy, and including the core value, mission, and vision, which is our topic as well. And then finally, we're going to cover the 3 pillars of HR strategy in terms of building a team of excellence. All right. Then we're talking about the growth strategy in terms of redefining how you're going to groom your people, how you're going to push forward your HR strategy during this very difficult time, especially when communication channels are now disrupted. All right. Okay. Then we're going to talk about Twitter. I think Facebook as well. This morning we are talking about these 2 giants. All right. The IT giant now, they are trying to plan for a so-called work from home. We call that policy. All right. So they may allow their staff to work from home, as you see here, forever. All right. Or as long as it takes. As long as it takes, as in to keep their staff safe. All right. So this is the new norm that we can all work from anywhere. So long there is a computer, there's internet, all right, there is all these places of connectivity, then you can actually put yourself online and connect to any parts of the world. All right. So this is something that we must understand. So we must change the way we operate. We must change the way we think, and we must change the way we grow people. All right. So, okay, the next thing we need to look at is to lead a team. Okay, leaders first. We must first de-learn, meaning you got to put down all the traditional thinking. You must let go all the habits you may have, and you need to rethink again about the new ways of making things happening. All right. So this is what I'm trying to say is that the first de-learn and relearn, all this is important. Okay, it's important, and we must appreciate that we must continue to self-reflect. We must self-assess. Okay, we must self-reposition. All right. So first thing first, start from who? Start from bosses. Okay, start from the leaders themselves. Start from the manager. All right, so that you can grow your team, and in order for them to work with you closer. All right. Okay. Next. So we may think that technology is moving so fast. No, I think very challenging. We got invest a lot. We got to spend big money. No, I think technology is second to culture. Okay. When I say second to culture, means culture is still the most challenging thing, I think, in the business model. All right. Whether you have a good team, you have a good brand, or you have a good SOP, or rather your KPI and all that, which related to your HR strategy, I would say culture is still the most challenging of all. Right. So I think today we're going to talk about the culture. We talk about HR, and this will all link up together later when we come to the end of this program. All right. So this is my team. All right. We do a lot of communication. Communication day. Okay. HR program, team building. This is always done every yearly. All right. We may continue this program for as long as it takes, because most importantly is people drive business. All right. People drive business means your business is made up of people, because without the people, without HR, we can't move our program. Okay, we can't move our sales target. Okay, we can't move our marketing effort. So people is always number one in the entire hierarchy of a business. All right, so this is something that we must recognize. All right, so today we will look into the topic on vision, mission, and core value, and why is it important that we need to reinvent. All right, and then we must understand that to build a team, okay, to build a core team, you must first know that there is three most important factors that bosses and managers need to understand and be able, all right, to learn the new norm of bringing people and to grow people. All right, so first thing first, we must look at talent growth methodology. It's always starting from selection. All right, we first recruit, we select, and we develop them through training. All right, and then we got to measure, all right, their performance. And then after a while, you may think that, hey, people need to move up, need to be promoted. So you have this succession management. So these four quadrants, as you say, is a growth engine. Okay, in many sharings and many philosophers and strategists. All right, that they all share. So your talent growth methodology must come within these four quadrants, and you must recognize that in the middle of this quadrant is to be successful. All right, your success profile is surrounding by these four quadrants of elements. All right, so then let's look quickly, very briefly on the history. HR is not new. Okay, way before this century. Okay, there is already evidence that there are programs, there are SOP, or there are methods. All right, in terms of hiring people, in terms of training people. Okay, in terms of setting up SOP, in terms of HR. Then when you come to the early part of this century, then of last century, you see that, hey, you have this thing called trade union. All right, hey, you have this thing called personal development, department, and you can see the social program for employees, and of course all sorts of productivity kind of philosophy and teaching. All right, so this is way before the earlier of the last century. Then how about now? All right, how about the second half of this during the 20s, during the 60s until now? Then we are talking about soft skill. We're talking about development. We are talking about outsourcing. We are talking about leadership, and most importantly, innovation. All right, so these are the key development during the entire past 100 over years or even centuries of HR management that we are looking at. All right, so this is not new. All right, this is something there already. So the next slide, we can see that AI is coming in. Okay, the analytics is coming in. All right, in order for you to measure how good people are, in order to measure how well we place people. So you can see that from the industrial economy. All right, right on your left hand side, you can see from the bottom screen. Okay, you can see that during the early century, last century, you can see that that we are in the industrial economy. Then slowly we move on to the financial economy. All right, then after that we will into the internet. Okay, the web, the internet, and of course customer-oriented kind of economy teaching. Then coming down to the recent 20-30 years, we are now focusing on talent. All right, we call it the talent economy. We're talking about globalization. We're talking about skilling up. Okay, we are talking about leadership shortages. So these are the integration all the way from the early 90s until the modern days. All right, so we are now focusing on talent development, leadership development. All right, so it's on the the red boxes on your right hand side. Those are the big topic now you're looking at, and those are the topic now we are talking about. These are the wave of business analytics. Okay, how you measure how good or how well your people perform. Okay, right. So the next thing we're going to look at is CEO. All right, this is from a McKinsey & Co. Write-up. So you can see that nowadays, okay, CEO are more involved. All right, more involved in talent management. Why? Because we as the bosses, we as a leader, we must bring up the culture. All right, we must bring up the belief. We must bring up the value of us. All right, into our system. Okay, and share it with your people. That's why you see at the bottom of this bar chart. Okay, you can see that personally develops and be the mentor of your team. Okay, this is where our CEO has changed its role. And this is where the CEO now comes into the picture, that we should be the main trainer. We should be the main person who listens. We must be the main person who actually develops your people within your organization. All right. So that's why I think this slide is very important that I would like to share with you all. Okay, next thing. Then you will see that AI is coming. Oh, okay. We have this Amazon, Alexa. Okay, we have Apple, Siri. All these are the automated kind of deep learning or voice, we call it robotic, or rather analytics, AI. All right. So this is something that we may look forward. Yes, we may be talking to a robot in the future, or when you want to see when you want to see a doctor, or you want to address your medical condition. So this is something that AI is going to reshape, okay, the healthcare industry, and it is going to happen soon, and it's already happening. All right. So this is something that we must understand, that in the future, in order for us to pick the right people, in order for us to pick the right talent, all right, we must have a methodology, we must have a system, all right, we must have a mindset, and of course, most importantly, is the directors and the bosses and the leaders must know how. All right. So okay, next one. This is a quick one. It's from Japan. All right. You can see that memorial services. Okay, the chanting part where we actually pray for the deceased during the memorial period, the wake. All right, you can see that now it is sort of replaceable by robots. Right, replaceable by this little AI robots that it helps us to actually take over certain function of a human. All right, so this is something that I would say amazingly, okay, and we are accepting this sort of new way of we call it the memorial service blessing, or rather a new way of incorporating AI into our daily life. All right, so this is something that I would like to give rise to some ideas and some understanding on the development on the HR and the robotics part. Okay, so next, in order to have a good HR system, we must first understand and recognize that these three principles must be there. All right, these three principles must be there to have an effective HR strategy, which is you need to have a purpose. You need to be able to measure, or you may also need to instill some challenges or programs for your team in order for them to open up their mind, okay, to accept, okay, and to face the challenges. All right, especially during this time, the COVID-19. All right, we are actually moving on from MCO to CMCO. All right, and future post MCO. Okay, what kind of challenges are we going to face? Social distancing, going to relax a bit more, okay, or we're going to have this so-called the distance office, all right, where we all work from home by shift or something. So you need to understand that it is not so much about the micromanagement part. It's going to be a more macro management part where you'll be focusing on the results. You'll be focusing on the outcome, all right, on your strategies in terms of growing your people. Okay, so we don't do micromanage. Okay, we may need to focus how we do it macroly. Okay, and let our people be more able to decide for themselves, or be more able to take the initiative. And while the leaders and the board will look into the outcome. All right, more focus on the outcome, the results of all this. All right. Okay. So next, HR is a combination of science and people. Okay, a science and more of a methodology, and people is more of a, I would say, touch. All right, I would say communication. So it's a combination of both. All right, then only you can make this HR so-called strategy effective and useful. Okay, for people to be able to come into your system. Okay, get into your system and be able to work with you in a more, I would say, a harmonious manner. So we talk about managed by science and managed by trust. Okay, so the trust part, which is the people part, and the science part, which is the methodology part. Okay, where you have rewards, you have recognition, where you set target. Okay, but whereas on the people part, you need to have this thing called the personality. Okay, you need to have this thing called the respect, and you must have this thing called the security, the growth, and most importantly, I think a lot of people are saying that happiness. All right, you need to have happiness in your work environment. You must have happiness in your HR system. So this is something that I think a lot of people now talking about. not only having a KPI, all right, not only having a sales target. We must be able to come down to their level, to the ground, in order for them to listen, in order for them to communicate, and most importantly, to create the growth, all right, to create the happiness and the growth, and provide our team the security of their job. All right. So this is something that I would like to bring that message out to everyone to rethink. Have you done this both? Okay. Or you probably just focus on your sales target all the time, and you forgot about the human touch, okay, and the care part. All right. So this is something that I would like everyone to actually start to rethink. Okay. Next. So let's touch on the first so-called key topic of this today's program. Just now I was just for the past 15 minutes I'm trying to share with everyone about the philosophy, about the history, okay, about the trend, okay, about the new way of thinking, what HR is. All right. Okay. Now we look into the corporate culture. Okay, corporate culture basically formed by these three parts. Okay, first thing is your vision, second is your mission, third is your core value. All right. So we talk about all these jargon, all these keywords. So what are they? All right. So today we're going to share with you. All right, share with everyone. How can we interpret these three very, very important and yet a lot of organizations, they have not actually even, all right, so-called decided what kind of vision they have or what sort of vision they should have, they should have, and also the core value that is within the team itself. Okay, so next, vision, okay, is something that dictates who you want to be. Okay, who means your corporate, who means your business, who means your own kind of setting, all right, your business model, who you want to be and what you want to own. All right, so in the future, for you to achieve a mission, you must first have a vision. So vision is for you to think of yourself, who are you, and what you're going to achieve in this journey of development of your business, and of course your plan. Okay, so this is first thing, your vision. You must set what is your plan, 5 years, okay, 10 years, 20 years. And of course, if you look at many Japanese companies, there are hundreds of years of legacy and history that we all has witnessed. All right, so you must understand why can all these organizations be so successful. So let's look into all these example. All right, example. So vision is actually the act or the power of anticipating, okay, what will come by, and it is your future direction, and most importantly, it's a position of your team or your company. All right, so this is the vision, or it's a positioning. Okay, it's a forecast. Okay, it's something that you would like to predict. All right, you would like to forecast and you would like to predict where you want to bring your team and your company, or even your stakeholders, your shareholders, to that level that you would like to see. Like for example, General Electric, their vision is to make the world brighter. Wow, this is nice, isn't it? McDonald's, to control the global F&B market. Okay, and then higher. Let me just translate in English. They would like to create, okay, a world brand, okay, a world brand that will be honorable to their people. All right, people of China. And Vanker would like to be the world, to be the property developer, the leading property developer in China. All right, so this is the first four that example that I shared. Then how about Disney? Disney is to aim to be the world-class entertainment enterprise, to bring fun to people, to bring happiness. So you see, these are 5 very successful, all right, and yet now they are even trying to transform themselves in the new norm of this pandemic situation, and this is the way, this is the vision that holds everyone together. All right, so what should be in a good vision statement? A good vision statement should describe the outcome, all right, and giving a very clear mental picture of our objective, all right, of a goal, all right. And as a leader, vision statement is actually to help us to inspire, okay, to give energy, okay, to our people, to our team, and including our shareholders, stakeholders, okay, our so-called business partner. All right, so this is what we call vision statement. All right, so next, So what we talk about vision and mission now, all right? So mission is actually talking about purpose. Okay, we got to redefine the purpose. Okay, why you do this? Why you have this business or organization or this project? So what is your vision? Okay, we look at Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft mission is to make every US family and office has a PC. Very simple. They just want to let every family able to have access to a computer and to be connected to the world. Right. So this is Microsoft. Then General Electric. Okay, is their mission is to enable technology and innovation. All right, to improve the quality of life. All right, you have electrical appliances. All right, that you can actually buy home, bring back home. Okay, set up your TV. Okay, set up your lights. Set up all that. So this is to enable technology to help improve life. So these are the very good example or to demonstrate what you mean by mission. All right. So then let's talk about Dr. Fuller. Okay, when you talk about mission, this is I would say a philosopher, including a coach, or including someone who has written a book called Fu Papa, Fu Chong Papa. The author actually endorsed the teaching of Dr. Fuller in terms of his philosophy. So let's look into Dr. Fuller's philosophy. All right, that he actually focused that mission should be focusing on learning and growth, should be about life. Okay, enjoy life. All right, and add value to the society, add value to your people, and of course to your organization. All right, so this is the purpose that you need to decide. What is your mission? Okay, is it only just about money? Is it just about people? Is it just about the bosses himself? No, it is surrounding all that. All right, all that in the hexagon so-called diagram that I just shared with you. All right, it includes the team, including the spiritual part, the professionalism, the leadership, okay, the monetary part, the money, and most importantly is the motion. All right, the emotion of it. How you're going to join all that up into your this so-called the purpose of having your program, your project, and your business. All right, this is mission. So don't complain. Okay, Dr. Fuller always remind us, don't complain. Just give people the tools. All right, teach them and give them the tools. All right, don't just teach them. All right, give them the tools and empower them to think for themselves, to be able to work with the initiative, the self-initiative. Empower them, give them the tools, tell them the method. All right, this is where mission is able to address this part of the strategy. So next we look into core value. Okay, core value means how to do. All right, and core value is something that it is a set of behavior, set of guidelines and standards, SOP. Okay, for all your team, your people, your employees to follow. All right, to understand. So that it is in line with the growth, your direction. Okay, so it is also a belief system that includes the good. Okay, the good means those that you can do, those that you do good, you will be rewarded, and of course, and also those that you shouldn't do. All right, the wrong part, the evil part. All right, the bad part. So this is a belief system that incorporates the good and the positive and the negative part. All right, in order for your team, when they come to challenges, when it comes to problem, okay, what sort of basis, what sort of mindset they will be able to resolve the situation, what sort of problem solving basis you will have for your team. So core value is important. Okay, so I hope the sharing very quickly, we move on to the example of core value that you see here. So IBM core value is to be innovative and be responsible. Okay, Hewlett Packard, HP, their core value is to have trust, warmth, result, speed, and focus. And once again, General Electric is to be reliable, focusing on result, and be innovative. So you see that these three Fortune 500 companies, you can always see the word innovative. You can see the word responsibility, responsible. Okay, and you also see the word called trust, focus, reliable, and speed. So when we design our so-called core value, okay, we must understand that it is a set of belief system for our team to follow in order for them to move at the right direction, okay, in line with your vision and in line with your mission, okay, right. I hope this is another picture here, okay. So what do you see here? Retreating tides, all right. So when the tide goes down, okay, when it retreats, when it withdraw, okay, you will see that the stone at the seabed actually just expose themselves. So during this COVID situation, you will see that a lot of organization, a lot of business, a lot of we call that people, they have shown their true character, okay, their true nature of problem-solving skill when they meet up with this COVID-19 pandemic, this MCO, how fast they respond, how well they are now, and how positive they are to transform themselves and quickly move forward. So this is where I would say a time for us to reflect, okay, reflect on our own. Look at your HR strategy, whether are they able to bring your business to the next level, whether are you going to survive during this time. So this is something that I would like to always bring up for you all to think about. So reinventing corporate culture, it is about your vision, it's about your mission, your core value, and it is about your 10-year plan, your 5-year plan, which I suppose what you have planned before, please put it aside. It may not apply anymore. It may not be able to help you anymore. So please focus now and beyond, now and future. All right, what happened in the past will be just your reference, will be just your, we call that, will be your so-called your learning, your experience. But looking forward, you must have a new plan. All right. So next, you must talk about KPI. You must talk about OKR and OBR. These are the measurement. All right. Your performance, the key performance indicator. Then you must probably relook into your employment contracts with your staff, with your employee. Then you may want to look into your handbook. If you have a career handbook, that'll be great. All right. Then you must always look into your culture handbook if you have any. All right. And lastly will be your learning and development initiative, which is your training. Okay, how are you going to train your people? So these are the main things you need to think about when you talk about your corporate culture during now and after MCO. So how are you going to ignite? How are you going to create that passion? How are you going to boost your morale of the team? It all comes down to this very basic, I would say, very basic ground and very basic formula. Before you even talk about, oh, I'm going to send them to this course or I'm going to send them to that course, you must set the direction. All right, you must set the boundary. You must set the target. You must set your culture right before you actually embark in whatever you're going to do next. So please, I hope from the past 20 minutes sharing, I hope everyone understand that the importance of corporate culture is really, really very crucial. All right, at this time. Okay, in the past we talk about cash flow. Yes, of course. If you say cash flow is king, then I must say corporate culture is queen. Okay, so then if you have the cash and you have the people, then congratulations. But if you have the cash, all the money, all the cash flow, but your people are not ready, all right, then I say that probably you are not running, you are probably clawing because you don't have that people to support your model. All right, okay, so I think let's then just move on. So all that will actually help you to attract your talent. Okay, this is a very I would say very sensible, very reasonable ground to say that if you have a good corporate culture, I think you will find it very easy, or rather very I would say you attract talent that come to your team and organizations. Okay, so let's do a little bit of summary here. So vision is to help you to retain your wanted team talents, right? And mission is to help you to attract potential talent, all right? Then if you talk about core value, is to help you to develop a responsible talent. So these three very interesting and very important ingredient or formula, or rather tools and mindset, okay, is to help you to understand that, please, you cannot ignore this, all right? So not only you're going to take care of your cash flow, all right, but you must also focus on your people. So that's why cash flow and people is my favorite topic, and I always like to share all this HR knowledge and experience that we had with you people, with you all, with all my friends and colleagues and anyone who could probably appreciate that people is still the queen and the king, as I say, cash flow, and the people is actually part of your entire organization's key pillar. All right. Okay. Let's move into the next topic here. We're going to spend the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes on this. So the 3 pillars of HR is to build a core team. You must first understand communication, listening. All right. These 2 are the most crucial during this time. All right. You got to engage your people. You got to engage your customer. You got to engage your supplier. So if you have a good communication skill, tactic, being tactful, all right, and you're willing to be open, all right, and you're willing to listen and to feel here your heart, all right, and listening and using the communication channel, whether you are now using Zoom, whether you are now using Skype, whether you are now using any teleconferencing tools, and including your handphone, of course. And I think this is very, very important. The word is called engaged communication, not just listen and then put aside. No, listen and accept. All right, listen, accept. And you will be able to find that, hey, I think this communication, it's helping me to actually solve problems, all right? Help me to make things happen, okay? So during this lockdown period, we must see that challenges is actually surrounding these 3 main things. It's your client, it's your team, your people, and of course your cash, okay? I think I've shared this before. I just want to quickly flash this slide for you to recap. Okay, the market is now uncertain. Okay, our team are now probably a bit disordered. Okay, why? Because I don't know whether they should work from home or they should work from office, and whether the SOP set is correct, and the daily submission to MITI on your DOSH is proper or not, and then the family is worried or not. And then of course the last thing will be your response management on your cash, whether you still have the cash to sustain. Okay, whether you still have the cash flow for you to actually reopen your business when the CMCO ends. All right, so these are the things that we need to think about. Okay, and managing remote teams now, and I think everyone is now probably, at least for the past 60 days, we have some sort of experience working from home. Okay, we have probably some experience managing team from home. All right, so we call that the remote. We call it the remote management. All right, so it's not like taking a joystick and then you start to remote. No. It's about keeping touch with people. That's why communication is important. So the growing trend in remote working, okay, are you giving your team the room, okay, for them to decide whether should they work from home or from office? All right, so are you going to focus micro, we call it the micro flow, or are you going to focus on the macro results? Okay, all right, the workflow is micro, the result is macro. So which one are you going to focus? Just like I already mentioned. So please remind yourself of that. Okay, then communication apps is all over the place. You have so many of them. Okay, so this is a very quick summary that you have WhatsApp, you have Dropbox, you have Trello, you have Microsoft Teams, you have Skype, you have WeChat, you have DingTalk, all that. All right, all that, including Cisco Webex, GoToMeeting. All right, all that. These are all the tools that we use, and I can assure you that these are the tools that I use. Okay, and you can see that we have Canva, you see we have Instagram, we have all that, Google Ads. This is something that we all learn probably for the past 60 days, or you probably have already started using it, like Google Classroom. All right, if you join any webinar, these are all very common already. All right, so bosses, please, all right, we must all know, all right, these are all important tools of communication. Me, all right, at this age, okay, I'm still learning. All right, I'm still using all these tools, and it's always useful. And if you know all this, actually you find that you work with your team much closer, because you know their language. Okay, all right. So let's move on. Okay, so next we can see that Zoom is the most popular one so far, by far. All right, they probably has solved their security issues. All right, with all the upgrades and updates of their software, version 5.1, 5.01, and all that. Okay, then you can see all this weekly download. Zoom is still number 1. You'll be surprised to see TikTok. All right, and then you see Skype and all that. All these are the IT tools that is now prospering, okay, and getting very, very common. So please, communication is not just through phone call. Okay, communication is not just through we call it face-to-face meeting. We must make good of all this IT for you to actually be able to work in the new norm. All right, and please, most importantly is to inspire. Most importantly is to create a trust among your people. All right, let them feel emotionally, that you wish them well. You wish them be able to adjust, to the new norm, and inspire them. Okay, this is where you get the positive momentum. All right, so these are the keywords I would like to introduce. Okay, next, learning and development. Okay, I don't use the word training. You can see that actually learning and development is what we call training, but training is a one-way ticket. Learning and development is a two-way ticket, and of course is a more sustainable model. You must learn and apply. All right, then you only be able to develop a person. Okay, develop your team. Make them understand that learning is ongoing. All right, it's not just after university, then you come to work, and then 9 to 5, you go home. No, it's more than that. It's more fun. All right. So learning and development, I think this is something that we need to understand, so that with this, you'll be able to redesign your reward system. Okay, your basic pay, your allowance, and all that. So talent transformation. You can see this. Wow, very interesting. The tortoise is going into a larger shelf. This larger shelf actually will help us to understand that this is a transformation that everyone should need to embark. Okay, so when you embark in this, you'll be able to see that, oh, okay, I'm willing to let go of my old habit. You can see that the smaller shell is your old habit. The bigger shell is your new norm. So it's moving to the new norm, and this is what everyone should do. Okay, then you must understand all this X, Y, Z now. I'm not just going to flash this. Okay, we're not going to do a half day seminar. Okay, this is a 45 minutes sharing. Okay, so I'm just going to flash all this. Then just to give everyone understand that we are now in the situation that the generation Z, all right, is coming into the workforce. Now they are coming in. I could be Gen X, okay, or we could be baby boomer. All right, so these are the different characteristics of our team members that you must know how to manage them, and you must know how to motivate them. All right. Then the next thing will be we call it the search, okay, for the truth. Is where the Gen Z lies, the behavior. So you must be more direct to them. You must be able to listen to them more, and you must give them a very clear vision, mission, and your core value. Then only they'll be able to work with you. All right. So this is what we need to know, that this is how we need to know about Gen Z, and they are now in. All right. So talking about effective training. All right. You're going to incorporate all these 5 elements. Okay. Very quickly, we're going to talk about engaging. Okay. You're going to engage them. You're going to focus on the specialized knowledge. Okay. Don't just go for a general one. Probably going to specialize more, focus. And then the next one will be you need to focus on your task. Okay. Which is my mouse cursor is not moving. Okay, sorry. Let me just move back. All right. So the majority of the course, this practical task, you got to focus on it, and then you go look into your assessment on a regular basis, measurement. All right. Then the fifth one will be your instruction delivered in a different way. Okay, whether you're through online, video, mobile method, all this. Okay, these are very important. So in order to have an effective training, you must recognize these are the future. Okay, these are the future way of making training, or rather learning and development workable. So you must also understand that there will be we call it the learning style. All right, there are people who are very visual. Okay, when they will learn by looking at it, by reading. All right, there are people who will learn better in terms of listening. And then of course there's another group which there are people who like to get their hands on. Okay, kinesthetic. Okay, the kinesthetic and the visual and the auditory kind of way to learn is just part of it. Now you got to mix with these 3 in order for you to have a good learning and development, I would say, program. Okay, so these are the things that you must understand. Okay, you must understand. So visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. These are the key. All right, way to motivate, and this is a learning style. Okay, I'm going to just flash this through, and then later if you want to read through them again, you can just play back this video, okay, again and again, and then you can do some research on these 3 so-called ways of learning. Okay, next. Okay, then the training needs. Okay, we've got to look into the training needs, the analysis part. Okay, how are you going to do this? The transformation is actually about the process. Okay, you got to understand that there's a lot of people who is willing, there are a lot of people who is willing, and there are a lot of people who may not be willing to do because of their resistance to change. Okay, so the outcome, the growth, the skills, the emotion management, it is all in this diagram. Okay, please people understand that the transformation process, you got to understand that you will face resistance. Okay, you will find a lot of excuses from a team if they are not matured, or you do not have a clear HR strategy. So you must actually start to think about all that and be able to manage their emotion. Okay, focus on the people part. Then you'll be able to push forward your so-called your new norm of business model. Okay, I think probably we can have another session about business modeling. All right, and I'm sure that most of us now we are now thinking of changing the way we do things. All right, so this is about focusing on growth. Okay, then this is a diagram. I would like to give credit to my HR, I would say coach, Mr. Hubbard. He actually had this very nicely done. A lot of people actually had this thing called they call it the 5 poison. All right, I just want to share this, very important. Okay, don't just complain. Don't just blame people. Don't just give excuses. Okay, don't just gossip and most challenging part is the ego part. So these are the 5 poison that prevent people from doing things, prevent people from growing. All right, prevent people from developing their career. So we must understand that this 5 poison has to be contained, just like COVID-19. All right, so this 5 poison is just like COVID-19. We got to contain them. Okay, in order not to let this out. So how? Okay, the word is how. Okay, so we must understand that we need to have all this HR program coming in. We need to communicate. Okay, we need to engage our people so that we listen to them and understand their needs. Okay, understand their issues. Okay, understand what they are facing now. What is the bottleneck? All right. So surviving. All right. So when we talk about surviving, it's about clearing all these challenges and make sure that we communicate, we listen. Okay, and most of all, we must develop and train our team to be able to accept the new norm of working. All right. So fitting in Gen Z is also challenging. Okay, because these are the new batch of graduates coming out from the universities. They're coming into the workplace that we would like to actually understand them more so that we can actually coach them and guide them. All right. I'm sure there are a lot of bosses agree with me that managing people is getting more and more interesting. All right, more and more challenging. Okay, so willingness and strength is always something that you need to recognize. Okay, once again, this is something that we learn from our coaches. All right, so teacher must learn from teachers, and teachers must also do self-learning. So we all learn from each other, and so we must understand that how can we design a HR program to motivate team is to actually understand that we will go through the cycle of willingness. Okay, we'll go through a cycle of acceptance. All right, we'll go through a cycle of depression before they actually be able to perform. Okay, so this emotional strain or we call it resistance is actually part of it. Okay, this is part of the this is part of the cycle. So you must understand that how can we manage people by just giving them work, by giving them the sales target? No, not enough. Okay, we must really communicate with them and be able to train them to accept what we have in place for them. All right. So the art of communication, as I said just now, is one of the key issues that we like to put forward. Okay, talent placement strategy. This is something that I would say, please get someone who can fit into the door and come in. Okay, rather getting someone who is so tall that they can't even come in, meaning you are not recruiting the right person. Okay, I think this is a very interesting picture that I would like to share. Okay, so next, your talent selection, please. With your proper mission, vision, and core value, you'll be able to select your people more accurately. Okay, so this is something that you must pick someone who is at the right hand side. Okay, rather than someone who is on the left hand side. So you got to ignite your team, which is the topic for today. You must create the passion. All right, and this is how we must bear all that tools in mind. So the last part of it, the 3 pillar of HR. Okay, the last part of it is your remuneration. Okay, your salary. Okay, your basic pay and all that. Okay, this is where I would say it is very important that we now understand that we need to first identify the critical skill. Okay, for our businesses, whether should you do it yourself again, or should you outsource? Okay, it could be alternative solution that you work from home. Okay, it could be alternative that you want to keep it, or you want to let someone else do that process. Okay, so critical skill is something you must focus on so that you know who to reward. Okay, who you should give bonuses, who you should give the incentive. Okay, so you must understand that you may need to review your reward system. Okay, your payroll, your salary, and you may want to look into your this employee handbook. Okay, you may want to look into this force majeure clause, which I think a lot of topic, a lot of discussion going on because this is a pandemic. Okay, the Malaysian law, the Malaysian legal system does not really give an auto application on this force majeure. Then you may want to relook into it and see whether you can come with a more constructive solution with the people, or to revamp or to relook into your handbook. All right, so this is something that we need to bear that in mind. Okay, then the next thing is, of course, the training to retain, to hire. Okay, so these are the HR, I would say the HR program that you would like to start to think about. Okay, and just give you a case study. The new norm reward system could happen in this way. All right, could happen in this way, just like what this slide show. Okay, your old basic pay could be very high. Okay, your old basic pay could be very high, you know, which is I'm using my cursor to show you. Okay, the old pay will be quite high, but of course your incentive also quite good lah. Okay, so this is probably like a 12,000 plus minus kind of so-called reward system or your salary. Okay, then if you look into the new way of thinking, because I'm actually consulting a few so-called, not to say a few, I would say a lot of friends and colleagues, and even I would say clients come to me and see whether how should they redesign their reward system. So they may want to look into this. They may want to look into a lower pay, okay, or a more balanced pay. Lower pay or more balanced pay, but putting more emphasis on performance. Okay, more emphasis in performance and more emphasis in the company's profitability, and to share the bottom part, which is the performance incentive or other allowances, and some could even think of sharing the profit, the company's profit. So we call it the new 1.0 and new 2.0 could be the new model that's going to happen in the future. Okay, so this is something that everyone should think about, whether your salary structure, your reward system should be revamped. Okay, should be relooked into or reinvent. Okay, so tools of transformation, as I said just now, it's about learning new way of doing things. Okay, new tools, your AI tools, your communication tools, and of course, in order for you to do well, you must first start with the purpose. Okay, why am I here? What am I doing? Why am I doing? All right, the 5W2H. Okay, the what, when, who, where, how, all that. So you must understand that the vision, mission, and values are the key. Okay, to that questions. Okay, then only you are able to retain your people. You're able to retain talent. All right. So this is something that I would like to put forward to you. And as I said just now, a talent strategy is not just on the growth engine. All right. You must also look into your business model. You must also look into your business landscape. Then how you're going to plan your people. Okay, and your outcome. All right. So that growth is where we actually address today. All right. Growth engine. Okay. So this is something that we need to bear that in mind, that talent management is more than just payroll. Okay, talent management is more than just training. Okay, it's looking into the whole picture and redesign it. Okay, so you must understand that we need to shift the requirement. We need to shift it. Okay, we need to do more communication there. We got to reflect, review, and fine tune. You must bridge and understand each other. All right, so that's why I say communication is one of the key. So then only you can redefine what is the success factor. Okay, your excellence, redefine it. Or you got to advance their career, critical thinking, and future proving your team. Okay, these are all the keywords that I would like to share, and hopefully you all can bring it back and understand that it is not just simple as just payroll itself. So human resource management is about all that. Okay, setting goals, training, the benefit, recruitment criteria, okay, and even developing your talent. Okay. Lastly, I would like to share. This is Deepak Chopra, a very renowned author in terms of a human resource topic and all that philosophy. So please go to his webpage and like it, and of course follow that, because those are very important we call that notes and skills. Okay. Lastly, I would like to share Steve's job. All right. What he says is the only way to do great work is to love what you do. All right. Is to love what you do. Seriously, if you love what you do, you will do a great job. You will succeed. All right. So finally, I will say thank you, and I would like to say thank you to QNE and KT as well, and all the QNE team that is actually working so hard during this we call it MCO period to bring all these good topics, all right, all this good content, not just focusing on accounting software, but of course putting that in a higher value chain to bring in all the information about getting our friends, our client, even the public, or to be able to change the way we do things and using a more proper method. So QNE has been very, I would say, very focused in their software, and they are also very helpful in terms of getting all these knowledge-based seminars, webinar to everyone. Also, that I hope that my sharing also helps everyone to give you a new ingredient in HR strategy. And I think before I end, I would like to ask all of you to actually give QNE a big hand, because they have been doing a great job during this MCO and keeping everyone occupied, okay, and be your partner, and also trying to bring all this balance in society and bring up the harmony, all right, and knowledge to everyone, okay. So I think my sharing probably will end here. So thank you so much again. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Mr. Sam from QNE. So I think I'll pass this session back to what do you call that? I'll pass this session back to Katie. So okay. So Katie,
All right.
pass my screen back to you. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Right, before you offline, Mr. Patrick,
Yes.
just maybe allow me to share a few words. Of course, thank you just now for your kind words on behalf of my company. I would like to say thank you to you for your, not just only a kind word, for your encouragement as well, because it's that skipper that ignites us. Okay, like your topic say, that's ignite us. Thank you so much on that. But just to feedback a little bit on your topic, okay, what I like about your topic, firstly, I think you said one thing about, as a leader, as a bosses or managers, we need to first de-learn and relearn. What great! This is a great point that I catch from inside, because first thing that we might have a lot of traditional way of thinking, like how we run a business. Yeah, we might thinking that this might be the best way to run a business, but actually, sometimes it's just the ego stopping us from learning, right? So I like the part that, when you say you have to put down all the thinking that you have, then and relearn again. So I hope all the bosses and managers who are here with us this afternoon, change the perspective, change the mindset, and I believe all of you really had a good impact and good sharing from get a good impact from Mr. Patrick sharing, right? And once again, thank you again, right? So what about right now? We open for Q&A session, okay? So we will open a 10-minute session, okay? Due to time, there's a time limitation, okay? We would like to open a 10 minutes. So those of you who actually wanted to ask any question, please do so, okay? I will post your question on top and I'll read it out. Then Mr. Patrick will help you to answer, okay? So please.
Okay, so we probably address some of our online viewers. What are the concerns they have? HR has been a very challenging topic.
I wonder. Actually, I came from Gen. Is it? I born in 1993. So which generation I am? Gen Y, is it? Am I?
Yes. I would say between Y and Z. It depends on your background. If your friends are all very senior people, then you're probably closer to the Y. But if you only stick with your younger generation people, then maybe you are more on the Z part. All right.
I see. Okay. Then I'm probably in the Gen Y. I see. Right. Here comes our first question, Mr. Patrick. Okay. So, how should we handle our staff if he or she actually very talented and skillful, but attitude problem, like always provide negative energy to the team? Okay. How would you advise on this?
Okay, you see, when we talk about colleagues who are talented, we call that they have a very high we call that performance. All right, very high performance. But Why are they negative? All right, because they have their own thinking, may not be in line with your corporate mission and vision. All right, so why they have all that thinking? Because probably the company itself did not really have or clear, all right, clear culture. That's why when we actually deal with all these talented colleagues, we must really have a very good culture and system, so that they actually be able to come into the system, okay, be able to work together with your other core people, including your bosses and your directors. So it is not about whether this is the right person for you. Okay, it's about whether you can attract the right person for your organization. Okay, so this talented colleague may fit in elsewhere, okay, but it may not fit in here because his core value is different. His core value is different, right? So this core value is important. So you must make sure you have a very clear core value to be a clear message to everyone, so that when your colleague come to know that, oh, this is a corporate core value. Am I in the system or am I outside the system? All right, what system am I talking about? The core value system. All right, so in order for this so-called talented colleague to work better, I'm sure you need to communicate. You need to communicate more. All right, with this person, so that you close the gap. Closing the gap is important. Okay, thank you. I hope, Jenny, I addressed your questions. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. I hope Miss Jenny, we answered the question. In fact, now communication is the main tool, not just only one. I mean, it's both way. It's not one way. So maybe your boss might be thinking this way, the staff might be thinking another way. So now we need to synchronize it. Yeah, good point. I like it. All right, here
Katie,
comes our second one.
You learn very fast, Katie.
Sorry?
You learn very fast.
Oh, yeah. In fact, we have to. I think we have to. All right. Okay, so this from Lim Siu Hong. Okay. Now markets is very sold, but the sales target to the salesperson still remain. Is it good idea to reduce the sales target to the salesperson for motivation to them? It may also affect the company increase the expenses like sales commission. How do you look into this question?
Yes. I think this is a very good question. I'm sure that a lot of marketing company, especially our property agency, or rather all these so-called health sector, they have all this target for their salespeople. But you see, I want to ask one question: are these targets set before the MCO? Okay, if it is before the MCO, then are your target customer still remain the same? If you are using the old target and your old customer base, then I must say your target may not be, I would say, reasonable, or it may not be achievable. Why? Because during MCO and after MCO, you must relook into your target customer. As I said just now, are you putting the resources at the right, target people? Because people are different now. They are not moving around. They are staying home. So how are you going to touch, or how are you going to get in touch with your customer? Are you still using the old way of just by call, or are you just using the old way by email? So no, you can't do that anymore. You must learn the new way of doing live FB. All right, just like what QNE does. They respond very quickly. All right, they quickly touch all the customer online. Okay, all across Malaysia, even across Malaysia, cross border. Okay, we call it airborne over to other areas. You must first understand that in order for you to achieve the target, you must probably need to review and change the way you communicate and engage your customer. Then only your target is achievable. If you still use your old way of communicating or old ways of marketing, then I will say very challenging. Okay, may achieve, but very challenging. All right, so please use the new way of communicating and educate your public, educate your market sector, educate your customer, so that you have that, we call that, what do you call that? We call that the trust. Okay, we call that the touch. All right, so please relook into the way you communicate, and the design of your sales target should also be probably adjusted or reviewed as well. Okay, so I hope, Ms. Lim, I actually give you some thought about this. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for that as well. I believe that nowadays a new strategy we need to always build a new strategy. In fact, if let's say we use the old way, traditional way, that doesn't work anymore. In fact, our system If let's say we are still on the old generation, I think probably QNE, this name will not be still anymore. But I'm glad it's still working strong. Thank you.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Thank you, Miss Lim, on your question just now. Okay, maybe we will wait for another 2 more. All right. If not, then we will close up the Q&A. All right.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, cool. So
You see, HR has been always my favorite topic, as I always say, because I like to deal with people. But yeah, I like to solve issues that come along, and hopefully that we call it the problem solving helps to create the happiness, and through the happiness you create the trust. Right? It's only with the trust and care you'll be able to work with people better. Okay, so that's something I would like to encourage everyone. Please relook into your corporate culture. Okay, please relook into the 3 pillars that I just shared. All right. Of course, there are more to that. Okay, there are more to that, but because of time constraint, we want to focus on these key issues so that hopefully it will give you some ideas and methods to actually improve your current situation. Thank you.
Wow. But you know what? Just now, based on what you're little sharing just now, I think as a boss today, you can't just only be a boss. You gotta be like no more than a boss, like not just only leader, but a parents to all the staff. Like you need
Mentor.
to communicate with them, reason with them.
Yes.
Wow, that's a tough job, because I know being a parent is not easy. All right, but you know what? Be a parent for the staff as well. It's another tough job, because you are not their parents. You have to talk to them. You have to reason with them, and then you need to communicate with them as well. Wow. Yep. In fact, it's true as well what you shared.
That's right.
Wow. Yep. Wow. But why? Since you say you like to deal with people problems, why not the psychology? I mean, you might be having a lot of like psychopath in like having a lot of psychology knowledge and all.
Yes. All that we need to know, because we need to find the right words to use. We must understand words are very powerful. All right, the choice of words is very important. When and how you put it, whether you use your tone, to be on soft, or whether you harsh, or you need to go around the bush. You go around the garden. Only you give them the keyword. So this is something that you need to really practice, lah. Of course, it's through experience and learning through all these years. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I think after MCO, let's have a talk. I would like to learn more from you, Mr. Patrick.
Surely, I'm always happy to share.
Okay, cool. All right, I think this moment of time, maybe there's no more question at the moment. So thank you so much for your time again, Mr. Patrick. So, thank you again. You may, we shall meet again, all right? Hopefully we will come out another great topic where we will bring more information to the public and to the people in this, in this critical time. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy your evening, afternoon time. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, everyone, for listening. So I think I'll catch up with you again. All right. So have a good weekend. Happy Hari Raya. All right. Cheers.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So people, thank you so much, Mr. Patrick again. I believe that he